It is crazy how much he thinks this is a Ponzi. And the worst thing is I agree with him.
Ponzi's?
Yeah, well,
You say
I mean,
Ponzi's.
what is got the biggest Ponzi there is, man.
Oh, yeah.
But he's like, I mean, here's what I think. Think about this, Josh. You're talking about us being silenced here. You think, how the hell would they allow him to talk and not us? You get what I mean?
Because he doesn't show the actual tools of volatility trading the way we actually show them, and he has his own Manarino tool or whatever.
Yeah, that MMRI or whatever they think. But he's
price based.
Go ahead.
And so, it's I don't know, man. The thing is, like, we did manage to get some things unmuted in certain channels. It takes time, but they haven't yet unmuted us in the bigger trading channels for whatever reason. But they are at least showing us in certain recommended areas now. But very little still. But it's okay. I'll take a trickle versus nothing. Versus a total shutdown. So at least we're not shut down completely, and that's good.
Well, I say that because if they allow him to talk with that shit, that I can't believe.
Well, he's not the only one that talks. I mean, anybody in the Bitcoin space or in the space of just generally. I mean, there's a lot of people who say that the system is rigged and all that stuff. That's nothing new, right? We're not the only ones who say that. It's just that we literally, I would love to be wrong, and maybe I am. There is no other technical reason for us to have been muted the way we were on every channel, and then on all the channels, and then on all the trading channels, and then on all the big trading channels, and then on all the media. It's just a bit too coincidence. But maybe it is just a coincidence. Just an extremely unlikely 7th Laplace distribution coincidence.
That's a big coincidence.
7th Laplace distribution.
That's like a 0.9999999.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, one of those.
One of them.
The point 9. Yeah, I maybe I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong, but hey, we'll just go with we just have to make better content that appeals to more people who want to learn about trading. That's all, I guess.
Well, there's the MMRI tool. You can have the DEPS tool. There you go.
That's on a weekly.
That's right.
All right. Got my Tasty Works back up. Thank God.
Got the Tasty Works. Got the Tasty Works up.
Yeah, I forgot my
password. I think we swim up. You forgot your password.
I forgot my password.
I hope your password isn't password.
No, but you have to have a 12-letter password for them, and so I completely forgot it. I've had to reset it about 15 times already, so this was probably time 16.
Right.
Yeah, well, what happened? At least I admit it. We're good.
If you use LastPass, I would highly recommend you change your master password.
Yeah, that's why I read that from you yesterday.
Yeah.
No, I don't use it.
All right. I know a lot of people use it. That's why I posted that, because I saw that on Twitter or somewhere. And I'm like, I know people use that. I better post this. Yeah.
Right.
Dollars down. Natural gas is getting smoked. Oil's coming down.
Yo, what's oil, gold, copper doing? So we do a quick run on general thing.
Yeah, we can.
I got silver down 30 cents. Gold down 12 cents. Copper nowhere.
12 cents. That's basically nothing, but okay.
Copper's been on a little run though. So silver. But yeah.
What'd you say?
I said copper been on a little run though.
Yeah, it's coming. It's just correcting. It's down 1% right now, but
yeah,
probably needs to do that.
Yeah, all the metals, big time. But you had to close yesterday. What? I mean, geez. Everything. I mean, there wasn't too many really down unless we're going to go into Teslaville, right? Tesla and Solana, Lyft, all these things, they're just getting crushed. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities. A lot of opportunities in all three of them, in my opinion. 100%.
I don't follow Lyft. Let me see.
Yeah. Coinbase,
It's like a
obviously,
ride,
down.
that ride
I know
share.
what it is. It's $9. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's never been below 10. I from what I'm understanding. And then Coinbase and Kathy Wood, she bought what 6,000 shares of Coinbase
Talk about
yesterday.
0 to 0. That girl.
If she bought 6,000, you better dump it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got room to run to the bottom still. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And this is just all news related, right? People have no faith in crypto.
Right.
So yeah, they're dumping that Coinbase stock. All the institutional investors, if they got a lot of risk on, and say you're in Amazon, Tesla, Netflix, Coinbase, who you dropping first?
I just saw Mark Cuban on Bill Maher. It was kind of funny, like his Club Random thing. It was kind of funny.
Right.
And he was saying, like, yeah, I hold some Bitcoin, and it's not my whole portfolio. It's not even the majority, but I sure like it, and I can't wait for it to go down a lot. And Bill Maher's like, why would you want it to go down? He's like, because when it's cheaper, I could buy more of them for less, and then it's going to go up again. It was just a funny thing.
Right.
He was talking about Bitcoin a bunch. But anyway, Mark Cuban knows what's up. He's not a dumb guy.
No.
He's considered to put on the greatest trade of all time. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you read about what he did when he got bought out by Yahoo, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he was a member of my association on my sound and video council when he did that. So I know all about the guy. I mean, I know the guy. So. Before he was a billionaire.
Sorry. Cut myself.
Yeah.
I am here for the first time. We are live.
Real nice guy. Real nice guy.
We put a $5 billion hedge on. It's incredible.
Let's see here. What are NASDAQ's doing? What are these NASDAQ minis doing? Besides being very volatile. Very volatile. These little NASDAQ minis. We like them. We like them.
On the daily, right?
But yeah, SPY yesterday down what? 1.5 little handles. Russell down Russell down 11.4. Triple Qs 3.7. SPY 15.5. What do we got? Dow Jones was what, down 30 or up? Dow Jones was up 37. Oil and metals all down. And we got a nice little stocky poos here. Netflix down 10, Meta down 1.1, Apple down 1.8, Google down 1.8. Of course, Tesla every day. Just assume it's going to be down 10 to 15 points. Let's see. Yeah, Amazon down 2.2. What was that, Adobe? Yeah, Adobe down 3.36, which right now is a good time. Not financial advice, but Adobe is prime for a nice iron condor. Already closed one last week, right, on that quick little trade. Now, February expiration. Yeah, man, I think it's a good trade. 52 days out or something. Do you only be in that trade for a few weeks? If you get out 21 days till expiration, so that's kind of quick trade.
For entertainment purposes.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. The AVQ indicator. What do the numbers mean on the right? Like when it's like right now, I'm watching the NASDAQ minis. It's reading negative 904. What does that mean?
What's that for?
So the AVQ, right? I always keep that on one of mine, and right now it's
okay. So you mean like it's showing you the slow MA, right, which is the white line. It's showing you the middle line is the slow MA, and then it's showing you the upper bands and lower bands of STDEV, like volatility bands.
yeah. So it has a reading right now of negative 900. If it's positive or negative, what does that mean?
The actual the AVQ line, you mean?
Yeah, let me take a screenshot. I'll show you what I mean, guys. I'll put it in the thing so you see what I'm talking about. Hang on. Control V. So down on the lower right. See that AVQ? See those numbers on the right? It's in alpha voice chat.
Let's see here. So I'm loading something up. You got that? You looking at that, Yash? I'm loading up another chart here.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm just something else here. Let me go ahead and jump into your
New layout?
here.
What is this thing doing, man? Is anybody having trouble with TradingView, man?
Yeah, big time.
What is the issue? Like, you used to be able to go over here, click on this, and it had new layout, and then it had load layout. Now load layout's gone. mean, what are these clowns
I
doing?
still have low layout. I'm
See,
looking
I
at it right
don't.
now.
What the hell is happening here?
Shut it down, bring it back up. That's weird. You don't have low layout there?
No.
Maybe
it's-
you maxed out. Oh no, that wouldn't make sense on the load.
No way. Wait a minute here. Indicators replay. Unnamed. Yeah, this is insanity. I don't know what's happening. Oh, man. See, now I got manage layouts on the bottom. Then I can pull this up.
I don't have
And
that.
where the hell is that? Oh, there it is.
I don't have that. That's bizarre.
Yeah, dude, I don't know
Like
what the heck's going on here, man. You see something? Boom.
What's the call signal on that one? The CME E-minis, was that?
MNQ Mary Nancy Queen 1 exclamation point. Look, it's not a big deal.
Right,
I
there
just
you go.
put the
No,
numbers in.
I'm taking a look. Take a look.
Dun, dun.
MNQ. I see the AVQ at 3759 for the slow MA, and the AVQ itself 3496. So you have it on a different setting, is what you have.
Okay, so I have
Here,
smooth.
yes, smoothing on. Let's say your length is maybe, what do you have it length on?
10.
30,
10.
15, 10. Okay. I want a 15, so let me go change one to 10. What's your? Here we go. Hold on a second.
I don't have a
Never
fast MA on there.
That's okay. You don't need it. Okay, hold on. Let's just take a look here.
And my slow MA is 14.
See that? Okay, yeah, I see. No, I still have it at the same
All right.
3459. Why is yours reading a negative number? That's a good, and like a big one. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
I don't know. Again,
What's your source? Is it closed?
yeah, it's closed.
Closed.
It goes close, check, 10, line, ABQ.
You don't have it. Set. You know,
I
you're
see
showing the
right, so
bands.
maybe
Oh, you're not showing the bands also. I noticed that.
show the bands. Where do I do that? Oh, those are the ST. Oh, the show the bands.
Yeah, FTDEV bands. That's like your probabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Which is useful to have.
So if it's below
So-
negative, it means it would be most likely a downtrend, which makes sense. Yeah, but this thing's at like a negative 900. That's why I was just curious. It was at like a 700.
But why is it? That's a weird read because mine is showing 3759. Point, 30, yeah, 3759 is the no, that's the slow MA. Sorry, the AVQ is 3496, and it's down below the second band. It's heading down.
Oops.
Okay, and that's funny because now and I'm just putting default on. I think on this. I don't think I changed anything on this. You know what I mean? And so I have it on
Okay.
another screen, and I have it on another screen, and it's reading negative 509. So, and that's
Weird.
on a 10
Why is
minute.
What does it show you when you go to load up BTC USD for a second,
Yeah,
so we can see if you're still getting a negative read?
573, 575.
That's weird, man.
Yeah.
Hang on. What do you do? What is in your settings is showing this such a difference?
Here, let me see if I can copy it. I'll just see.
Double check.
Oh,
What do you turn on? Did you turn on I would turn on the bands just to double check. Turn on the bands and turn on MA.
all right. Turn on the bands and then turn on the fast MA.
Yeah, just click the MA settings checkbox, the one with the tildes before MA settings, like the long line. You don't have to show the fast MA. You can show fast MA border if you want. You
Just
can
hit
just
MA
show the,
settings. Okay.
yeah, and then just show the slow MA and set it to like 14. And then show your bands 1, 2, and 3.
I
or
got
at least-
1, 2, and 3. I'm still at 575. I have this.
And then at the bottom, your phase should be like 50 and power 2. Or your JMA
Yeah, I got
setting.
that 50 in power too. I've got all 3 lines on now.
Okay, so show that, and then now what is your?
Still reading 573.
That's just weird.
Yeah.
Something's up.
My SD look back
I need
is
to
30.
update that one.
What's that?
I have an updated version of that one. I should probably just get out there.
Yeah. Well, maybe
There's
it's
I mean, there's so this is kind of the default setting, and it can go negative.
Yeah.
but I also made one where it's range bound between 1 and -1, just to keep it kind of a little bit more within a range versus it can go all over the place otherwise.
Right.
Yeah, but why is it showing? Oh, because you're on the 1 minute. I see. You're on the 1 minute. Hang on.
Well, now I'm on 1 minute. Yeah, I'm on a 1 minute with BT right here, but it's still reading right now in the Bitcoin. It's still reading 576. It's okay. I was just curious what the positive, negative numbers mean. I didn't mean to get us all diverted here.
No, man, you're good. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I see the same numbers, by the way. I see the same numbers as you when I stick it on the 1 minute MNQ1.
Okay.
I see the same negatives. Yeah.
Okay. So what does that mean, Yash? Like if you're getting those, what does that negative 900 mean, or whatever that number is? You know what I mean? Anything?
Jeff is in here.
It means it's mean reverting. So with a number that it's 0, so
Yeah.
as Luke was saying, so the next update that he's releasing is just going to go from 0 to 100. This one goes from infinity to negative infinity. All right.
Okay.
When it gets up to 0, I'm going to guess that's when it's going to be its strongest point. But I don't know what it is. But
Okay.
when it crosses, like you've seen there, that's telling you that it's directionally facing the mean. There's a probability that it might have continuity. And now there will be rules for AVQ, which I do not understand. So then if AVQ is pointing up and AVR is completely flat and let's just say RO is mean reverting to the upside, maybe that is the signal you would need to know that this is a bottom. I don't know. Or this is a halfway move.
Yeah. Basically, I mean, look, the numbers are reads on, like you said, is from 0 to negative whatever, and 0 to above it, and positive whatever. But it's a directional indicator, right, in many ways. So when it's moving up and it's green or light blue or whatever you have color for positive,
Right.
then the quality of the volatility is good, right? And then when it's white is kind of like the caution, so the next move could be up or down.
Okay.
And the plot moving down plus red or whatever your negative color is bad, quote unquote, volatility, right?
Right.
So you can add the bands obviously because it shows you where the probabilities are that it's going to turn around.
Right.
That's what I use it for, is to see when we're likely at the bottom or the top based on the bands.
Keep the
And when it's crossing the mean, I mean, the thing to play around with is the length and the smoothing, right?
Okay.
But basically, look, some people use it as a confirmation tool. I use it as a very directional tool, actually. I don't really worry so much about the numbers on the right, on the left where I'm set, because, well, I just don't. I'm looking at other information more. But crossing the mean is very important. Crossing the white MA, the slow MA line is very important.
Yeah.
And where it is relative to the top or the bottom of the bands is very important to know when it's probably going to turn around.
Fair enough. Thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to distract there. I apologize.
No, that's a good question. It's based on standard deviation bands. So that's why if you know the probability of your standard deviation, 62, 68.2, 95.5, 99.7, those are the probabilities of those bands. And that's why I find it extremely useful, to say the least.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
And since the close, or since yesterday's close, look at the bands. Look at the bands on the 15-minute.
What is that? SAV?
Yeah, and this is the Nasdaq. This is the micros. Yeah. But I've got my settings. They're always a little strange, right? I got my smoothing on 33. I got my MA length on 9.
33 and 9. Okay.
There you go.
And it kind of, I mean, if you're depending on what you're using this indicator for, man, the way I have it set up, I mean, it usually keeps you in the trade for, it's got some nice safety parameters for you, right? I mean, obviously though, if we're trading low time frame volatility and you get a dump like this, you're still not going to be sitting in this trade. I'm not anyway. That's why I use, and I'm not going to lie, I don't use the AVQ a lot. I never have. It's a great indicator, and I'm
Yeah.
stoked that we have it on this free chart for people.
Yeah.
But you know, I go dig in. I dig in over here, get a little
Yeah.
bit better of a read. But
ADQ is a great lazy trader indicator.
oh
It
yeah,
really is.
he
But
said,
it's not the.
"Call me
It's not
lazy."
our most. Let's say precise indicator for getting into the very candle necessarily. Like you'll miss a candle sometimes, but that's okay. And you know it's good for catching trends or you know long moves or moves as long as they'll go. It's good for that, especially on higher time frames. I like it for that. But I don't use it to trade like to scalp the 1 minute.
Boom. There they are. There they are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Here's the daily on the minis. Let's see what's happening here. Bull div. Interesting. Fishers are telling another story. But you got bull div. I mean, you got bull div on returns oscillator, DLP, trending now, trending to the downside. Volatility contracting, heading up in a positive correlation. Looks like this next candle it's going to come out of significance. We'll see. We'll see what's happening. For sure. But what time is it? 9:21. Let's take a quick peek at. I'm gonna take a quick peek at Solana, man, before this market opens. Let's see.
Cheap
here.
Solana. Cheap Solana.
We got some Solanas on sale. Get your salami. Let's see. Where are you? Boom. Bam, bam, bam.
You can get a bubble goose now for like what? Less than $40.
Pretty much, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those two projects in general, they're fucking. It's a steal right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, I think they were $50 last week. Now they're like 40, 36, something like that. $40, $50.
Let's see here.
Pretty good deal.
Are you buying now, Joshua?
I haven't bought too many NFTs recently.
Get you one
But I've
whale.
been,
Get you one whale. Get
what?
you one bubble goose.
I
Yes,
might
sir.
get a bubble. I might get a bubble goose one day. I don't know, maybe.
Mr. Bilbo and I have been saying get whales and get, BGB for months now.
I know, but at the same time, not buying them for months means that there's cheaper prices now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can get more of them for the same amount of capital I would have put in.
Every
months
day
ago.
you wait, you get a better price. That's true.
I mean, not every day. Eventually, it's gonna go up, but
At
you know,
least-
so
At least ever since I've been here, if you wait
Yeah.
another day, you're getting better prices.
well, you're getting a little bit better. That's all right. You know, like NFTs are just in a down because like people have been fudding NFTs for so long. It's like it's such a popular meme to fud NFTs, especially by people who don't actually comprehend what they are really.
Yeah.
That it's kind of like, okay, now we're going to get better prices because you got a bunch of loudmouths with big platforms talking dirt about these really great things.
Mhm.
And people just don't get why they're useful or what they really are, et cetera, et cetera. What's the difference between a good one and a bad one? Because all they see is they hear about a few scams and they're like, oh, there must all be scams. Like everything else that's ever been invented in history, anytime there's a new tech, there's somebody who's going to be a charlatan coming along the way trying to scam. So therefore, everyone related to it is a scam. Like, no, that's not how it works. That's like when the internet was popularized too. You know, there were people scamming with fake email services and fake other services and essentially rugging people to invest in crappy internet products. And then people were like, oh, the internet's a scam. This thing's going to, it's going to go away. I remember, like some really well-known columnists at really large media outlets were saying, oh, yeah, this email thing's it's a fad. This internet thing's a fad. It's going to be gone by, before the year 2000, nobody will be talking about it anymore. And I was like in the early 90s, like going, like, what are you on? Like, this is how information is spreading, and it's going to continue to spread this way, and it's only going to become more popular. But no, they were sure it's a scam. Like, okay, now here we are 25 years later.
Well, that was 1990s gaslighting. They didn't want all the information in the world at everybody's fingertips. They wanted to continue the scam. Life's a fucking scam until you realize we're just here to have fun.
Yeah.
Then it all, oh, wait. It's not supposed to be hard. It is though, right? Life comes at us hard. Hard. Just like Solana's coming at everybody hard. I got this projection coming from the all-time high. And you can see how Solana slipped down the first, and I've got normal distribution on right now. Solana seems to like this normal distribution. Comes sliding down the 1SD, right? Boom. Right when this power mean started messing around with this 1SD, boom, you get a dump below the power mean. Right? We come down, we're at the 2SD band. We're down here at the 2SD band. Didn't quite mean revert all the way to the RMLR, but it did to the 33 power mean. And then where'd it dump to? Right to the second standard deviation. Got a wick down, pulled back up. That was also a wick to the 99.7 Laplace on that current candle. You can see the little pink dot there. So there was literally a 68.3% chance this candle pulls back up during that weekly candle, and it did. This is why when people wonder, well, why do we get all these wicks? What's the deal with all the wicks? When you understand volatility and the distribution, it's clear as day. It's all probabilities. It's all percentage levels, right? And so then, after the pullback up, we go right back down to the 2SD. Do not close a weekly candle below. Got a wick down, right? Got a wick down to the, almost to the 1SD on that weekly candle, but pulled back up. Where are we though? We've been riding down the 2SD band. Eventually, when you're doing that, if you don't close a candle, especially if you're not closing candles below it, really, I mean, there was a couple closes, but you can see, man, it was having a good time just riding it down. Bounce, right? We're at the 2SD bound. We're at the 2SD band, mean revert, right? This is how this happens. Then we start going sideways. Right? Then we all know what happened here with this weekly candle. This is when the SBF debacle happened. Where does it go to? Right to the 2SD band. Mean revert. Now the last 3 weeks we've been on top of the 30 length RMLR. So it's like, what's going to happen? I'm looking at these bands. Right? Where's the 2SD band? 2SD band's under $5. If Solana gets under $5, I'm backing up the truck. I'm backing up the truck. I'm going to go out on the Indiana Avenue and sell myself for Solana. That's what I'm going to do. But we've also got the 3SD band down here. Now we're talking $2.32 Solana. Now obviously this is a weekly candle. But this is why the distribution just gives you an idea where price action could eventually fall to and what the probabilities are when it gets there. And you can start these projections at any one of these pivots in price, no matter if it's up or down. Right? This is just an example coming from the all-time high. Okay, what has Solana been doing? It's pretty mapped out here what's been going on. And it was liking the bounces off the 2SD band from the projection and the 2SD band from the RMLR. And I'm sure if you're just hearing all this information, it's probably just bouncing around in your skull and you're like, what the hell are they talking about? Just keep watching, keep listening, right? At some point you're going to be like, this is pretty cool. Especially when we show these areas, right? When everybody else is just drawing lines on their chart. We're using math, right? The code is built on math. The code populates all this information for us. It's not like we're just, okay, here, let's put this line here, let's put that line here. No, it's all about mean reversion. And we created this indicator so we could actually get an idea about price action mean reverting when price action doesn't mean revert. This is where it boggles my mind still. I'm sure it does everybody else, but it's a very powerful indicator. And the fact that Van and Donnie got this thing put together is pretty incredible, man. These guys are amazing. And so you can see the bands are tight as well. Even with this big move, I mean, these bands have not freaking started spreading out. So how tight are these going to get on the weekly? That's what's crazy. And we're just hovering right above this RMLR. This weekly candle closes below this RMLR, you're probably going to see this. There's a probability to go down here to this $5 Solana level. There's no doubt about it. I was over here looking on the weekly, right? Now, this could, if we get a bounce on the zero mean here, if this bull div, this could be a turnaround. I mean, look at the Fishers. Look at this chop show. Look at this shit show of Fishers right here. I mean, hey, ding-a-ling-a-ling. Traditional market open. But anyway, there's no continuity at all, man. Everything's just doing its own thing. But then you look, we got bull div on the DLP, possibly setting up on the returns oscillator. And look at the volatility on the weekly. See, these are things that people don't understand about these markets. They don't know about volatility or when volatility is fully contracted. Look at the Laplace bands on the weekly price action, right? Through all this, the bands have just been contracting. They don't contract much more, right? There's a big move coming. And people are like, but wait a minute, we already saw a big move in Solana. Yeah, we have, and it was all what? Right? The Solana got caught up in the shit show going on with FTX, which is unfortunate, which makes me realize, what's going on here? Was this whole event to take down crypto, but it definitely dragged Solana into the dirt? Because it is a great blockchain. It is fast. Knowing a lot of people like Ethereum. Ethereum's got its problems, right? It's going to be around. It's got a hell of a community. There's no doubt about it. I'm not part of that community anymore. I was at one time. I made my money in Ethereum and left. Went into Cardano and Solana. I think, and look out for Cardano. Everybody, there's a lot of people out there bashing. People bash Cardano like people bash NFT projects for not having like fucking announcements every 5 minutes about, well, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do to make this coin or blockchain or whatever pump. It's ridiculous, man. This stuff takes time. And right, the technology is new. We have no idea. All of us that are in this crypto space, we're cowboys, man. We are cowboys. We're exploring the Wild West. Who knows what's going to happen, right? We really don't. Nobody knows. Drop down here on the daily. Pull this back here. The daily, ugly, man. Ugly. I mean, obviously, there's some bull div on this from this dump way back here, right? That's when the shit show happened. There's definitely some long-term bull div, but look at this returns oscillator. I mean, this price keeps going down. We'll see. We'll see what the returns are going to do. Look at these fishers. Now they're in lockstep on the daily, man. These things are dropping hard, but they're down below. All of them are below the 2 SD band, and it looks like 3 of them are below the 3 SD band. Something's got to give. But on the daily, look, there was the last trend. There was the last trend on the daily. We're starting to trend again. As volatility was crushed the last couple days. Now it's expanded up to a 72 percentile, negatively correlated, at least sloping down. It's getting ready to cross a zero threshold there. So is Solana out of the woods yet? No. I mean, and what's going on here? Who's selling, right? How that jackass had a bunch of Solana. There was a bunch of Solana throughout the ecosystem tied up in that debacle. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with the price? But I know that Solana is right around $10. All-time high was what, 250, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, when do you buy, right, dude? I mean, this isn't financial advice, but these prices are ridiculous. If it goes lower, buy more. You know?
Are you buying now, Bilbo, or are you waiting for the bottom?
Hell, if I backed up my truck at $10, I'd back 2 trucks up at $5.
Right.
I mean, I've been buying, right? I've been buying Solana, but what have I been doing with my Solana? I've been shoving them into two of the projects in the NFT space that I think have a very bright future because of what they're doing in the entertainment industry that nobody else, from what I've seen and all these other projects, that anybody else does. I mean, you have to have connections. The entertainment industry they don't fuck around, man. They don't fuck around with, oh, well, let's give this guy a shot. That's not really how it works unless it's just an outlier, right? I mean, but all these guys got their start somewhere. But these days, with all the competition and shit, they're being really careful. And so I've been buying Solana since, oh my God, $30. Now we're down at 10. So every time I buy Solana, I stick it into those 2 projects, right? Catalina Whales, Bubble Goose Ballers. I believe in both those teams. They already have proven track records in the entertainment industry. Where are these other projects' founders, right? What are they doing? Are they actually building, or are they just hype trains like DeGods? It's a straight fucking hype train, man. That's all it is. And that one day, that baby's going to crash. I just don't see anything solid behind that project at all, except, hey, man, it's got a great community. You know, a lot of people bought in the beginning, and they're sitting on massive profits. I would have already taken my profit in DeGods. right? But everybody knows how I roll. I got a shitload of JPEGs, so I have enough to take profits. A lot of people, they'll just buy into a project, buy one NFT. Hey, I'm all good. It's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm in it to take profit, though. I mean, I saw a guy talking yesterday. He's like, well, I didn't get into this to make money. I'm just like, what? What are you doing? You that lonely? What, you just coming in to just have a companionship in a fucking Discord? That's what he was kind of saying. That's why he got into it, for the community. I'm like, I don't know about anybody else in here. There's only one reason I trade. It's to make money. And I want to make life-changing money. So it's like...
There's one reason to trade, that's for sure. But there are other reasons to use crypto. And I don't mean cryptocurrency, I mean cryptography, but also cryptocurrency.
Sure.
It's not all that.
100%.
There's definitely use cases for crypto. But for sure, if you're trading, the purpose of trading is gains.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, look at this outlier on the 4 hour. This recent Solana dump. Just, woo! Powerful little outlier. But then again, right, showed the fishers, man. Everything's just a shit show. Everything's a shit show. The 4 hours trying to come out of trend, it's below the deviation bands. So, one more time, high probability this trend is over. We'll see. It hasn't turned up yet. Boy, it's starting to, though. It's starting to. So we'll see. As what I'd like to see is this contraction continue to happen on Solana on the 4 hour, and it's staying negatively correlated. It's starting to slope up positive, and that demand is just going to keep walking down. It's going to keep walking down and probably revisit the wick. That's how it usually happens. And we're down here, what, 9.6? We'll see. Very interesting. But since we got, yeah, I think I explained that pretty well. And Solana, let's see here. Where are we monthly wise? Well, on the new weekly, I mean, this is the thing too. I mean, Solana is almost dumped out. I mean, here is the bottom of the weekly range at 9.3. So if Solana is going to dive deeper, right? And right now, God, what is that? A 3SD move? Let's see. The tight daily range, right? Pretty much this VRE literally was telling you Solana is going to trend today. Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. The VRE told you it was going to do it. The entropy indicator told you it was going to do it. And the move was to the downside. It crushed right through the 1SD, the 95.4 Laplace, the 2SD, sent a wick down through the third standard deviation normal distribution. There was only a 0.03% chance that candle was, or that this data set is going to close below this daily level. It kicked right back up off of it, right back up to the 2SD. There was a 95.4% chance this was going to pull up and go right back to this level. And now you can see it bouncing off 4 hour levels. That's what those skinny lines are. They're all 4 hour Laplace and normal distribution levels. We just got a wick back up close to this 2SD again right here. But as what I'm saying, what do we got? We got the rest of the day, Thursday, Friday, before traditional markets close. The bottom of the weekly range is at 9.3. So if Solana is going to continue its dump out this week, I don't see it closing this weekly candle below 9.3. There's just nothing down here. Nothing down here at all. Now, can it? Sure. Sure it can. But you go back through this indicator over time, I don't care what asset, when it has very volatile moves, you tell me what you see and then come back and report. And you'll see why I talk like this about this indicator. It's very powerful, especially when you've got these distribution levels overlaid. And then you get distribution levels matching up with volatility levels. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And this indicator, I mean, I personally have been working with this thing for almost 4 or 5 years now. When I was still trading traditional TA, I had this bad boy hidden in the background. I didn't talk to anybody about it, right? And this actually was introduced to me by another gentleman, right? Another gentleman. We just took the indicator and turned it into a beast. In my opinion, that guy doesn't even use the indicator right because, number one, he doesn't understand volatility. I tried to talk with him, very strong Indian accent. I couldn't get anywhere. That's one accent. I'm like, are you speaking English? This is English that I do not understand. You got to bring it down a little bit for this hillbilly. But yeah, powerful indicator. And Solana?
And he's probably thinking the same thing.
Oh yeah, he doesn't understand a word I'm saying probably, which is even better.
Don't speaking English, communications break down all the same.
Yeah, big time. And we got Bitcoin
Yeah.
over
Uh-huh.
here in the weekly range, right? Just right out of the gate, right? SPY is right down here, this tight weekly range. Let me see here. Hold on. Is that it? Yeah, it's right here. Boom, 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 boom. So now SPY's back up above it. The dollar was trying to pump. Look, dollar rejects right off the center of its daily, right? About 15 minutes before the market opened. Sends a wick right to the center. I mean, right to it. Rejects. Boom. Now we're down at the, let's see here, this 4 hour, there's the 683 Laplace. I mean, that's the 95.4 Laplace on the 4 hour right there, and that's the second standard deviation. So we got a wick down into those 4 hour distribution levels. We'll see. Here's the 3SD, 4SD, 5SD. There's the 99.7 Laplace right there. And that just happens to be where? The daily first standard deviation for the dollar. Right down here at about 103. And I mean, these markets could rally. I'm not saying they can't here these last few days, but there is just a there's just a ton of people selling, man. This is a tough road. But I think after the end of this year, at some point, these markets are going to turn around. Oh, that's great, Bilbo. Anybody can say that. At some point, the market's going to go back up.
Yep. Absolutely.
But
It tends to do that.
yeah, this is like one of the main reasons to just trade low time frame volatility. Let's be real right now. Cash is king, man. Straight up. That's and I don't think that's going to change in the near future. Crypto's going to run side by side with the dollar, but the dollar's king, and it's got a hell of a military backing it up, so it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
This is a sick, crazy ass world we live in.
It's also got a very powerful banking system and financial system backing it up that is pegged to literally every major economy around the world. So
Yeah.
It's not even just the nukes, although that obviously is kind of like the brute force part of it, but it's also the regulatory power of having every financial system in the world that matters connected to how the U.S. dollar is regulated.
Right.
So those things matter. Those things absolutely matter.
Puck off. Nice gift.
Well, he's at a hockey rink.
All right.
Yeah.
Oops.
Love you, Jeff.
For
Have fun
sure.
with hockey.
For show. You see,
Yeah, man.
it was. Where's old MJ? I wonder. There we go. I just posted a little GIF. Posted a little GIF in Alpha Voice.
I love
It was the Dukes.
it. Was
Now look at Solana. Look at this candle on Solana.
yeah, man.
Gotta love it. Back up to
Well, that's
10.32. And that is at the daily what? Oh, and that's another thing too. Here was the bottom of the daily range, 9.6. The wick went right to the bottom of the daily range of volatility. Right? Now it's kicking up off of it. This works the same way for down here. This is the bottom of the weekly. I mean, these levels are pretty damn powerful. And Solana just rips right back up to the S2 and rejects from there. To people that think there's no substance to this indicator, and you're just looking, you're just like, what in the hell is this? What are all these lines? When you learn how to read this, it's a game changer, man. It's really a game changer. Anybody out there, I don't care what market you're trading, if you do not know where these levels are at and you don't understand volatility, you are pissing in the wind, man. You're going to come out stinky, right? A lot of people are like, well, my edge works great. It's like, show me your P&L. Crickets. People don't want to show their P&L.
Show me the math of show me the probability of your move being correct.
Yeah.
I mean, forget even your P&L. Like, just what are your actual? When you say you have an edge, it has to be quantifiable, or it's not an edge. What is your actual probability? I mean, we can actually show you probabilities with these things, which is kind of amazing. Like based on 0 to 100, and they're not based on silly nonsense probabilities. They're real math that actually matter because they're based on the things that determine the actual price of the asset. And that's why they're useful.
Useful, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
No
Speaking
doubt.
of useful, entropy's kicking up a nice little trending move on Bitcoin on the 15-minute. Woohoo! Let's go, orange coin.
Yeah, just closed that 15-minute candle above the center of the weekly too. But now, boom, what
Yep.
it sent a wick right to the center of the daily.
Right.
So yeah, very good, very good
Mhm.
indeed. We love it. We love
Nice
it.
tool.
But yeah, and it's like, and I've told people before, well, what's your P&L? And
Yeah.
then you get to people like, well, what's that? It's like, okay, well,
Right. Yeah.
never mind. Go back to doing whatever you were doing.
Yeah.
It's apparently working out for you.
Mhm.
But then I'd love to be like, now, show me the trades. Show me your entries, your exits, where your stop losses, which is a really bad mistake. Where was all this at? And let me analyze all this and let me get back to you. And I guarantee you, I'm going to look at these trades. I'm going to be like, the moron was in profit right there. He did not take his profit. The volatility of crypto came down, hit a stop loss, knocked him out of the trade. And these are all usually swing traders that are just getting wrecked. How in the world can you swing trade volatility? You can't. There's too big of swings in the volatility. That they're thinking that swing trading is the best way, but it's not. It's not at all. The best. Hey, if you don't want to deal with all this, just be an investor. And in my opinion, all these markets are close to bottoms. I don't think you can go wrong getting in anything right now.
Right.
So there's that. But at the same time, you can trade that low time frame volatility. And like Yasha likes to say, fill those tiny buckets. And I fill those tiny buckets, turn it into cash. Realize your profit. Or if not, what are you doing? And this is what a lot of brokers will do to people and stuff. They don't let them take their profit. They'll come up with here's something new. Something just hot came across my desk. We need to roll these profits into this. And they don't want people to pull their money out of the market. There goes all their commission. That's how they make their money. And so they're going to continue to try to roll you into new trades all the time. If you tell them you want to take profit, you want to take money out, they're going to just give you every fucking excuse why not to. It's like, well, trade low time frame volatility. Fill the tiny buckets. Turn it into cash. Take those profits.
Don't leave trades open at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Close the trades, take your profits, get out.
You can be a low time frame.
If you had a bad day, if you took losses on the day, still close your positions. Come back tomorrow refreshed, or the next day, or whenever you come back to it.
Yeah.
And start again. But don't just sit there hoping that the asset will go in your direction over a long period of time, like overnight or 2 days or whatever. Not likely to go in your favor all the time.
Yeah.
And
if you want to play the semi-long game in any markets, dude, trade options. Just trade options.
Right. That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. There's strategies built into options where it allows you to be able to wrangle that freaking volatility, man. Because all these markets are fucking so volatile. It's insane right now. You got a wild talk about volatility. I got a Wabber dog going nuts out here. Let's see.
What's funny is when you have financial experts and whatever telling you, invest in ETFs or whatever, because these stocks are generally safe over the course of, the ETFs are generally safe over the course of years or whatever. It's like, yeah, okay, so that's investing, that's not trading. But then you have people telling you, yeah, you should trade, these particular stocks or particular, commodities or whatever. It's like, dude, those things are no less volatile when markets are wacky than even, the wackiest altcoins. Like, you've got stocks down 99% from a year ago, like big ones.
Yeah.
So what do you think you're doing? Take your profits.
Take your profits, big time. Like right now, if anybody shorted Solana, rode this down. Did you know?
Right.
Did you know we were down here at the third standard deviation?
Right.
What the hell?
Did you take your profit when you started walking sideways? No.
What the hell
why not?
is this,
It's
Matic?
literally telling
What
you
the
take your
fuck?
profits.
There's Solana. I was like, what am I looking at? Why does this not look right? It was Matic. I'm like, what the hell is how'd Matic get on my chart? Yeah. So if you were in this Solana short, well, number one, did you know Solana was going to trend today? Do you have the VRE? Did you know it was a super tight range? When I say super tight, I'm talking about, look, right? The bottom side of the range was 11.07. Top side, 11.08. Come on now. Penny. Literally telling you this thing is going to range. And as soon as this broke the 68.3, you look, it worked its way down, had a bounce off the 68.3. Boom. Close this 15-minute candle below and look out below, especially when we closed above this weekly level right here, right? The green circle. Right there. And then, bam, just flushed all the way to the third standard deviation. So, where are you taking your profit? Hell, I'm up here. I'm taking profit 95 for Laplace, second standard deviation, right? Just because of the probabilities. These are 95.4% levels. That's a 95.4% chance it's not going to go below there. But look, these are daily levels, not 15-minute. So those were the probabilities that the daily candle's not going to close below there. Look, it's right back up above. The 2SD, here's the 95 for Laplace. Tried to get back up above it, sent a wick to the S2 on the daily. So when you learn how to read this indicator, man, woof, very powerful, very powerful. Then you throw everything else in, right? And it's just beautiful. Turn that off. I need to reset this. Hold on. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, what I like about the CRE is it sets very nice targets of opportunity for entries and exits very clearly. Like, you don't have to be greedy.
Yeah.
Like you said, you wouldn't even wait till the third standard deviation. You take it out at the second. There's already a 95% chance it's going to turn around. So what if it goes down a little bit further?
Oh.
And it's just, why be greedy about it? Just take your profit and wait for the next opportunity to come along, and then go with that one.
Yeah. And and people are like, but look, you missed a bunch of that move.
Yeah,
Did
right.
I? Yeah, I missed probably 30%, probably. I don't care. How good do you feel? How good do you feel right now when you took your profit, right? And where you took your profit at, that data set just roared right back up to it. And guess what just happened to a bunch of uninformed leveraged traders? They just got liquidated on that little 15-minute candle because they're highly leveraged, and that liquidation point's just following you. Right?
And they added shorts at the bottom there.
Oh, yeah.
They added shorts. They increased they decreased the distance between their entry point of profitability and their profit margin. And then when it turned around, that just ate right through their profits. And even if it didn't go back up to their original entry, because they loaded up on more, at the bottom there, they lost a whole lot more. So that's what happens.
Yeah, for sure. It does all the time. That's what I was talking about. Let me see all the trades that built that P&L. And I'm just going to go. I guarantee I'd be having a quick conversation immediately going, well, number one, you didn't take your profit. You didn't limit your losses because you're emotionally attached to your trades.
Yeah.
I mean, it all goes hand in hand. If you're emotionally attached to this shit, good luck. You're never going to become a professional trader. Ask P-Funk. Do you think he's fucking attached to his trades? Hell no.
Right. Yeah.
Hell no. This is your job, right? I don't care where you work. Are you emotionally attached to your job? I mean, It's like, fuck. What you said, that means you're bringing it home every night and you're worrying about all this shit, and you got to detach yourself.
You can like your job, but if you love your job, like love it, you're full of it.
Unless you're working for yourself.
Yeah, it's a job. And even if it's your company and even if you own it, you can't let that overtake your perspective on its work. And you wouldn't be doing it if you didn't need to do the work for some reason, whatever your goal is.
Right.
You wouldn't be doing that. You'd be doing something else if you had the opportunity to do other things other than putting in the work for that goal.
Yeah.
So treat it like a job, because that's what it is.
All right, crypto. Crypto's about to take a back seat. Oh, well, looky there. What's Tesla think it's doing? Tesla trying to make a little move. Back up. How about get back up to the 140 mark? you little electric car, fucking spaceship, tunnel digging, solar panel making. What else? Company does everything.
I heard that next to the next version of the Tesla, one of the future designs is that it's going to levitate. It's going to like hover. It won't
That's what I'm
touch
talking
the
about.
ground.
When they were talking about the whole, they're creating this fucking paint or whatever. Your car is literally going to be a solar panel,
Right.
too, to charge your battery. It's
Right.
crazy. Like, okay, let's see how this rolls out. But
Right.
it's getting interesting because Tesla didn't have a lot of competition, right? Boy, they do now. There's all
Sure.
kinds of electric car companies popping up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
There's
not.
probably, I mean, not less than a third of the cars on the street that I live on. At least a third of them are either hybrid or fully electric.
Yeah, and in my opinion, that it's hydrogen's going to be the future. I don't think you're never going to be able to build an electric car that's going to be affordable for the normal guy.
Right.
I mean, it's just I don't see how they're going to do it. The batteries themselves are super expensive, and you talk about we were always talking about what's bad for the environment. The production of those batteries is really bad. That's why they got to do it in China, because they don't have any fucking regulations. They just pollute the shit
Right.
out of their place.
Right. But hydrogen, the beauty of hydrogen is it doesn't pollute. Right?
Yeah.
And we got plenty of water we can use.
And there's people have invented all of this, but it just gets buried, bought
Right.
off, gets co-opted, and then it just disappears,
Right.
which is
But now
sad.
they've actually made a reaction from hydrogen right in that lab a couple weeks ago that they announced, right, where they got more energy out than they put in. Which is, I mean, even if you'd gotten the same amount of energy out than you put in, that would already be a breakthrough. But they got more out than they put in, which is mind blowing. And it was something like 40% or 60% more energy out than in, which is really mind blowing. And once they commercialize that, could be a decade, maybe two, whatever. That will radically change the world. I mean, no doubt about it. And there will be people fighting over it and everything else because they'll say, no, you have to defend oil and this and that. It's like, well, you want to pollute the world more. But, once the technology is there and it's actually commercialized
Yeah.
and it's available globally, that will significantly change the face of civilization. Like 100%, just like oil did, and just like many things have over electricity did. There are things that have changed civilizations, and the ability to take energy out of water is incredibly powerful in terms of its ability to change civilization, because there is plentiful water for the world to go around. Even in the most deserted places on Earth, we can still pipe water to there and change things.
Another lie they're pushing. Oh, we're running out of water. It's like, man,
Right.
unbelievable.
Oh, not no salt water anytime soon, that's for sure.
But I had an FJ Cruiser, a Toyota, years ago,
Sure.
and I put a hydrogen system on it where it was like and I had to build it, but it was like a big like home water filter housing, a clear one,
Right.
and then
Right.
it had metal. What was it? They were stacked too. I'm pretty sure, was it stainless? It might have been stainless steel, but there was two different points that made these anodes that went down into the water, right? And you had electricity hooked up to the anodes. God, I can't even talk. And you would put baking soda, a couple tablespoons of baking soda in it, seal it all up, and then the output of the system went right into the intake of your car. So I was getting, because I had this thing lifted on 33s, I was getting, 12 miles to a gallon or something, because those Toyota V6s, those Toyota V8s, they are gas hogs, man. So I was getting about 12 miles a gallon. After I put the hydrogen system on there, I was getting 18 miles to a gallon. So there's that. And that was just like home building a little system. Imagine what they're doing these days.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they're pushing this like green energy, and they're saying solar and wind and all this is going to be the answer. Where I don't think so. I think it's going to be, because they're also getting to the point where they're making nuclear energy safe too. So between nuclear and fucking hydrogen, and I mean, come on, man. What's up with this whole where we're polluting the planet more by creating all this all this equipment for solar and electric cars and all this shit? So I don't know. God, we went off on a tangent there. It's all good. It's all good. That's what we do. That's why people love us. That's why we have so many subscribers.
Yeah.
Because we get down.
Absolutely.
We get
Get
down.
down. Talk about charts, talk about industry, talk about economy, talk about fun facts, about science.
Let's see.
Good times, man. Good times in the Alpha Trading Day.
To traditional here. Let's pop up, going into the end of the year here. Let's pull up SPY real quick. Wow. Yeah, here's the 4 hour on SPY. You can look, I mean, just look at the Z-score of log returns, man. Beautiful.
Yeah.
First you get a bounce right off of the 99% confidence interval. You get a little rise here, then 2 bounces off of the 95% confidence interval. Now we're having an outlier on the 4 hour to the top side, but it was all bull div. Bull div right here on the returns oscillator from about this low right here. Bull div on the DLP. Bull div, even a little bull div on the Fishers, which you don't see a lot. And when you do, and when everything's showing bull div, pops a no-brainer. And so what's happening? Volatility is totally crushed on the 4 hour on the S&P right now. Price action's random. All right? That's why we love. Everybody wants to know, when are we in trend? And I hear some guys I really respect every day, and they always talk about, the market's totally random. There's no way to find out if we're in trend. It's just always random. It's just like, man, no, that's just not true. Quit telling people that, because it's you probably don't even know you're spitting a lie, because there is indicators. There are indicators that do prove that the market goes into trend,
Yeah.
and it's powerful. Especially when you understand entropy and volatility together. And when volatility starts to expand and entropy goes into trend, it's a no-brainer, especially when you're down on low time frames. But then again, like if you're trading Bitcoin, you might be down on the 3 minute, 1 minute, 6 minute chart trading, blah, 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 blah. Take your profit. It might only be a 50 point pop or something. Who cares? You won the trade. That's what it's all about. And you're talking about quick. You're not even in a trade 5 minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes. Think about how many trades a day you can get into. You pull up these micros, pull up these E-minis. I mean, look at this. Go down here on the 6 minute, for example.
Yeah, on the low time frames, you
Look at
just
this.
got plenty of opportunities on these
It's
assets,
just crazy.
especially when it's volatile. And people are like, no, it's too dangerous it's too risky to trade fast times. Like, no, it's actually riskier to hold on to a longer time frame, because it's more likely to do things like turn around when you're in a super high time frame versus a low time frame. You got your move, you see where it's at, you take your profit, it hit a level, take a profit. Don't be greedy. But no, people have a problem with greed.
Yeah,
And they have
100%.
mental issues with getting in and out of trades. Like, close the trade, take the next one.
And look at this. Look how many people just got wrecked. And I don't care what level these people are at. If you don't understand volatility. So right at the market open, right, these minis, they just start going up just a little bit. Then dump out. And then look at this rip. Look at that rip on that 6 minute candle. Rip, knocking people out of positions, right? And then they're like, oh shit, no, we're going long. Oh wait, now it's dumping again. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
It's right back where we started.
You should take your profit, exactly.
Dump, pump. Now we're right back where we are. It's just crazy, man. Why people would not want to learn how because it takes time. People just want signals. There's not too many people out there. They wake up every morning, I want to be a professional trader. It just doesn't happen, right? So
yeah, it's a small number of people around the world that really are traders, and the ones that are actually any good at it, it's a much smaller number, because most people are emotionally attached. They want to win big,
and you don't understand. Especially, and another important thing is that divergence. The divergence between price action and returns. It's almost like div is like a meme in traditional.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in traditional TA that are like, oh, that div, it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. You can't trade that stuff.
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. Which is good. You're right. You can't. Because you're
Right.
using the wrong tools. You need to understand divergence between the returns, the log returns and price action. Like right now, what did this on the 6-minute just set up on the returns oscillator? And we're getting positively correlated candles. Hidden bull, right? You got the low right here, got the low right here. Higher low, lower lows, boom. And now boom, you got a little 6-minute candle pop. It's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. But at the same time, the variance is negatively correlated coming down. So, and with the div, boom, the fissures are right at the zero thread, or right at the mean of the bands. So, yeah, man, this is what we do. This is what we do. And we try to explain to people. I think that's where, people get lost. They understand immediately this is going to take some hard work. And I'm not into hard work. Whatever happened to equality? We should all have this blah, 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 blah. We shouldn't have to work so damn hard. It's like, wow. Especially the younger generations. And what I've noticed with them, they are either the hardest workers, bam, bam, or they are absolutely worthless. It's like there's nothing in between anymore. It's crazy. And I see that at the family's pizza shops with all these young kids working. Some of them are worthless. Some of them are great. It's incredible. There's no in between. There's not nobody hanging. Oh, sometimes, boo, 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 boo. Just trotting along. They either absolutely have no work ethic or they have an overabundance of it. We got a kid working right now who is an all-star. Big time. He's so good at what he's doing. Yeah. If you ever worked in restaurants, it's a shit show nonstop. It is a non-stop shit show. It never ends. All right, where were we? Time is it? 10:07. We got time. We got the time. So they're talking about making a run here. Let me see.
I mean, that chart you got up there right now shows perfectly exactly where you should have taken your profit there at that thing when it popped up there.
Oh, yeah.
Crushed that third band.
Oh yeah.
And then it walked back down for an easy reposition. And now it's just doing a little, like you said, bull dip right there.
Yeah.
It's coming down. Like when you look at the variance, it's falling down with negative correlation. Well, what's it likely to do when it's falling down with negative correlation? It's likely to rise.
Yeah.
And it's rising. Wow, what a shock. Yeah, well, that's what the tool's telling you.
Yeah, you right here, you get this close below the 2SD band, whoom, man, it rips down to the 3SD, rips up to, on that current candle, that was like 5th, 6th, 7th standard deviation, way outside the 3rd. Where's it do?
Exactly, that's profit.
It pulls back all the way down to the 3rd to the downside again. Now, boom, where's it at? It's already, it just tried to get back up above the 2SD band to the top side. There's the 3SD, 10976. Yeah, man, it's all probabilities.
It's not rocket science, exactly. It's probability.
So if you want to wonder what the algos, the big firms are running on, they're running on math, man. They're running on math. They're not running on Fibonacci levels. They're not running on moving averages. They're definitely, you cannot figure out what's going on with an asset by looking at an RSI. What, the relative strength index? The relative strength of what? That's what I always ask. It's like, come on, man. It's easy for us because we've been doing this for a while. But that's why. Any trader out there should be able to come on here and listen to us talk about this stuff and go, maybe a little light bulb turn on.
Right.
There's some people out there. I know a couple. There's not many that trade traditional TA and are profitable over a long period of time. What's your P&L for the year? Most of those guys, it's pitiful, but they've had some great wins. But is what they're not telling people. It's kind of like traders. It's kind of like fucking social media too. They're not going to tell you about all the bad shit. They're going to just make their life look all glorious. Look, everything's great. It's like, no, everybody's a train wreck. I don't care who you are, how much money you got, how much money you don't have, whatever. Life is beating the shit out of everybody. More money, more problems. That's all that's all about. So I just try to be comfortable. Be comfortable. Okay. What are we doing here? Done ranting.
Well, nice little trending move on Bitcoin, positively correlated to the upside on entropy. Woohoo! Let's go. Orange. but it's
Yeah.
tapping out there. I would
Let's see here. Let's see if anything's popping out. Tesla pulling back immediately. Of course it is. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. Now there's that pullback. There's that pullback on them Vegas stocks. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, you little monkeys. Pull your ass back. I do. I've got live trades going in Wynn. I've got live trades going in Las Vegas Sands. I've got a live trade going in Uber, Lyft. What else? Tesla. Which Tesla, right? The bottom side of my condor is totally blown out. But I'm not adjusting anything for a few more days. When it's 21 days from expiration, then I'm going to look at doing something. But at this point, that's why I like defined risk trades. I know the risk going in. It's like I can absorb that risk. That's not a problem. If this thing turns against me, especially the position I'm in now, if I roll some of these legs, dude, there's no credit, man. That's the problem right now. It's so far out. But we'll see. We'll see in a few days. I mean, hell, this market could pump the next few days. Right?
Yeah, and it could also dump for the next year and a half. But,
Exactly.
Either way,
And the thing
like,
about
all right.
this isn't cryptocurrency. Shit is not all correlated. Shit doesn't just run together like it does in crypto. You know, that's why. I mean, I've got different trades on different assets over here, right? I mean, I'm short on the Las Vegas assets because of the run they just had, right? They had just a massive freaking run, and now going into the year, are people going to be taking profits and stuff? Probably, and that's what I bet on. But they were defined risk trades, right? They were defined risk put verticals, no problem. The loss was so minimal it was ridiculous, but the upside is crazy, and they're expiring Friday, right? It was a nice quick little trade to see. Are we going to have a nice quick little sell-off going into the end of the week? Because I'm going to take, if I'm in 20, 30, 40% profit, I'm taking it. And I'm talking about tomorrow at close or whatever. So I'm wanting those two stocks to start moving to the downside these next 2 days, and I'm going to take some profit on them. So what's great about American options, right? I mean, you don't have to sit in till expiration.
Right.
It's fantastic. That's why a lot of people day trade options. I'll tell you what, you nail that down. You nail it down where you got a good system to trade daily options, dude, look out, man. You become somebody to contend with. I mean, powerful, man. Very, very powerful. Everybody knows, and you can make a lot of money in options real fast on day trades. You really can. If you have the right indicators. Okay, what's the volatility on this asset doing? And it's so much, you don't have to I want to trade this shitcoin. What the hell's going on in Bitcoin though? I mean, every once in a while you have those outliers, right? You have those outliers. BTC's dominance will drop a couple points or something, and some shitcoins are pumping. But it doesn't happen all the time. Usually those markets all move together. We've seen it happen a million times. And when you see those pumps on they're pump and dump schemes. There's so many damn discords and shit out there. They gather up all this liquidity and they just pump and dump low liquidity shitcoins. And then people buy at the top.
By the way, speaking of which, like in crypto, I find it's very, like if you want to get more, let's say get more, I don't want to say get more gains, but essentially get more gains on a given day. It's like, don't trade necessarily your crypto against the dollar. Trade it against, trade your altcoin against BTC or trade your altcoin against ETH. Because then you're likely to have nice runs on days when everything else seems to be moving one direction or another, kind of be at the same pace.
Right.
And you can get more outliers trading it against the kind of the gorillas in the room, which are Bitcoin and ETH. And then from there, you can rack up nice little gains, or not even little, nice big gains at the end of the day. And do that instead of trading it against the dollar. Now, cash out in dollars or whatever your currency is if you want to, get more gains. I know profits under your belt. But I find that it's like, if you're trading BTC USD on any given day, it might not move very much necessarily. But if you're trading like BNB ETH or BNB BTC or even ETH BTC, stuff like that, you can have much more movement on a given day because they will be moving at a different pace against each other than they do against the dollar. Whereas against the dollar, they're all kind of moving in sync.
Yeah, and that's where the correlations come in big time. If you're looking to trade pairs like that, see how each one of those is correlated to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a good idea. We got a question. Hopefully he's still here. Robert Mullins in the YouTube chat. Good short entry? Question mark. First off, good short entry in what asset? Right? Good short entry in what? And, you know, if you've listened to us at all, we trade low time frame volatility. There's short entries. If we're trading a 3-minute chart, 1-minute chart all day long, right, just having a nice little intraday trading session, there's a lot of short entries. There's a lot of long entries. They're all over the place. That's the thing. And we're not gonna, you know, merge away from that at all. I mean, that's where all the profit is. And people are like, well, why do you say that? No, well, my friend Jimmy Joe just got in a great long and boy, he made all this money. Now I'm like, tell Jimmy Joe I want to see his P&L for the last 6 months. And then I'll have a discussion. Because anybody can throw a dart at a board and get a good run and make a nice profit. But how much have you lost? How much are you still down? That's what I always ask of people. You know, it is exciting when you win a good trade. But I'll tell you what's more rewarding and gives you a really good feeling is when you're done with an intraday trading session down on these low time frames and you get in 10, 15, 20 moves at the end of the day and your P&L's like 80, 90%. Dude, you like what you see in the mirror. You're like, oh, I'm onto something here. Then compound that over a week, over a month, over a year, over a decade. Dude, It's insanity. The whole time building up your buying power.
Right.
Building up your buying power to one day where you're trading, you know, you're trading fucking 10 Tesla lots and Amazon. And I mean, you're just all over the place. You got the buying power. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, every time you close a trade and take those profits, you've got more capital in your stack to make the next trade. That's the bottom line. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's how you build it over time.
Yes, sir.
That's the time. And thinking you can just do it one and done, that's not the way.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not the way. Like,
And that's what I'm doing with options right now on Tastyworks. I'm just building up that buying power. I've got lofty goals for 2023. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, I feel very confident because of the tools that I have at my disposal and understanding volatility where most traders don't. Most traders don't understand volatility. What do they understand about volatility? Well, volatility means the market's volatile. Oh, we're going to have some great moves. It's like, yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, that's the definition of volatility, right? But what is it? Do you know how to read it? Do you know how to correlate it to price action? Do you understand what happens when volatility is positively correlated on expansion or negatively correlated on expansion, positively correlated on contraction, negatively correlated on contraction? When all those setups happen, price action responds and it never fails.
yeah.
That's what's so crazy. People are like, well, it's going to take a little lot to learn this indicator. It's like, but you don't understand that when you do, you know what's going on. And it's all about the correlation breaks. You can have a steady volatility expansion, flat volatility, contracting now. It's all about these breaks and correlation that are going to tell you what the price action is going to do. So.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, I know we say it takes a long time to learn everything, and it takes a long time to get really good at it. Maybe it doesn't take like years. You can do it in a matter of months, or even less, depending on what your input is, and you can learn the basics. In my opinion, in a matter of days or weeks. Like it shouldn't take you even more than a month if you're serious about learning this stuff. To learn the basics and have a decent comprehension of how they work, and like memorize this, 6 very simple, tendencies. Which, like Bilbo said, they don't fit. We call them tendencies because it's never a sure thing, but it's extremely likely tendencies. It's highly, highly probable tendencies, and they work.
Hell yeah.
And you can learn these things. It does not take forever to learn these things. Just like, I mean, frankly, there are TA courses for traditional TA kind of stuff that take just as long to learn, and you're learning bad information. If you invested the time into that, and you put all the time and sweat and energy into learning the unfortunately, not very successful ways of trading, why not spend just as much time, or maybe even less, to learn this stuff and actually get something more rewarding out of it, which is, at the end of the day, a better P&L. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Nice. That lift trade did execute. Beautiful. Right it open. Lovely. Already up. Up on the day on everything. And that's what. I'm long, I'm short, I'm neutral on all these assets. But that's why I love having these tools. And especially if you understood how freaking powerful this chart was, you would give up anything you ever learned about trading.
Yeah.
And you would be like, please explain to me how to use this.
Yeah.
And we don't push these hard, right? We literally tell people, when you first come in, let us give you this free chart. Get a little bit of an idea first. See if this is what you like. See if you like the Discord. See if you like the traders in here. See if there's value there, right? And then maybe make the move. And what we charge for our indicators, we make it very, very affordable, which I would highly recommend if you are looking into these to get them soon, because we are going to be restructuring some things, because we are undervaluing what we do. We really are.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the education's free, right? I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. So we all need to be rewarded. We've been working hard for a long time. So, but at the same time, we're looking for real traders. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for actual traders, not shitcoin flippers, NFT flippers. We're looking to take these people and turn them into real traders. Where, look, I love cryptocurrency. It's definitely the future. There's no doubt about it. But if you're not in the traditional markets too, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? You got to diversify a little bit. Don't just go into crypto full bore.
Yeah.
It's because you talk about volatility, man. Jesus, very volatile.
If you are in crypto for whatever reason entirely, and you're not taking your profits out in fiat, I mean, have your head checked.
Yeah.
It's really risky to not take profits.
Yeah, for
Even
sure.
if you believe in them long term and whatever, you should not be holding 100% of your assets in that, because they go up and down a lot.
A lot, he says.
Right now, they've been going down a heck of a lot. So it's, if you haven't been taking profits over the past year and you're full on in crypto, you've been holding heavier bags for no reason. They've been at least cashing out in dollars every once in a while.
Yeah.
But like, we're looking for people always in this space who are actually traders, like Bobo said, and who are not just dedicated to one particular asset, but who are actually looking at being real traders, which means you trade whatever is going to be profitable on the given day that you're trading.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yep.
Be committed to one asset or one asset class. You should be aware that there are different asset classes that have different movements in general, that have different ranges of movement. You could be trading Forex. They have a generally, different type of range of movement, or you could be trading commodities. You could be trading stocks, whatever. Doesn't matter. But be aware of what you can exploit in terms of opportunities, right? Occurrences of opportunities means that you are able to exploit the inefficiencies of the market, and that's what you're looking to do as a trader in order to get gains. And once you understand that, and once you disassociate yourself emotionally from the asset and just think of it as it's just a thing you buy and sell, you don't care what it does or what it delivers or anything. It's nothing to do with your concern. It's not about the fundamentals. It's not about anything like that. Because you're trading low time frames. You want to get in, you want to get out fast, so that you can just rack up more gains at the end of the day. Because, like, if you're buying some stock you never even heard of, but you see that all the information is ripe for a trade in either direction, honestly, if you're in the trade for less than 5 minutes, what difference does it make what the asset does? Like, what the product is or the service is? What difference does it make? It makes no difference whatsoever. What difference does it make how you feel about it? None whatsoever. right? It makes a difference if you're holding it long term and you want to be an investor. Sure, then you want to know about it. You want to know the fundamentals that they have in it. You want to know all that stuff. But as a trader, that's not the goal, right? The goal is to rack up points fast and to make a difference to your bottom line every day, because it is a job. It is not just it's not just degenerate gambling. If you want to do that, you're going to have more fun going to casino. I'm telling you, it's just more entertaining. You'll get free steaks, free drinks, have a show, do whatever you want. Be much more fun, you know? But if you're staring at charts to make trades, get in, get out, rack up your gains.
What the heck? Looking at here.
Anyway, what are we at now? We're at 25 past the hour. Yeah, we can see now assets like some crypto assets had a nice little run up, peaked out, starting to turn around on the variance, starting to turn around on the trending move. It's starting to head back into randomness on some things here. BNB, perfect example. BTC also across the board. We're seeing that happen. ETH, let's see how that's doing. Yeah, same. Oh, ETH. Yeah, also it's heading, it's still trending, but falling out of trend pretty quickly. And also there we see the same thing. You see the variance turning around, going down with positive correlation. That means your price is likely to fall. And it is.
Yeah, for sure. Here comes that dollar. Look out below.
Brady.
Yes, sir. Gotta love it. Oh, gotta love it. And you can see on my watch list over here. What I mean, I got Dixie and VIX right up on top. They play a huge part in what's happening here. And this is what I've been saying, man, right? Are the markets crushed right now, especially some assets? Dude, fucking annihilated. Annihilated. I mean, we're down some, like, there's traditional assets that are acting like shit coins. I mean, they're literally down 90%, 95%. It's insane. It is insane.
And they could go down another 50%, right? They can still drop over the next year and a half. Like, that's entirely possible when we're heading into a bad year, whether it's going to be a recession or not. Like, people are just, stoking the flames of fear.
Yeah.
So, okay, so maybe the economy will take a bit of a dip for a while. Maybe it'll go down. So what? If you are trading, you can short, right? Or you can long the dollar, as I like to say. Right? It's like, it makes no difference to a trader. The price is moot. It really is. And people need to understand, when you're trading, price is moot, especially if you're trading volatility. Because the volatility is what determines the direction, or when it's correlated, volatility is what determines the direction of the trade. And entropy, same thing. The correlation of the entropy will determine the direction of the trade. And that's what matters when you're trying to rack up gains. It's not about trying to get in on the perfect top or the perfect bottom, and it's not about trying to time it exactly to the market low or the market high. It's about making a lot of trades. Look how much it goes up and down and up and down on the chart right in front of you there, in front of your face, on the volatility chart, on the daily chart. I mean, it's going up and down and up and down. Now, yeah, you could have held it, right? If you're trading volatility from, whatever, back in November of last year, the volatility is up from there. But it's gone up and down and up and down and up and down a heck of a lot of times since then. And assets have gone up and down a lot since then. All kinds of assets, right? And there's no reason to not be taking profits at the top and at the bottom, and at the top and at the bottom, every time it does that. And along the way, too. Right? You don't have to be greedy. You don't have to try to get the exact top. When the information is good and clear, that's when you make your entry, and that's when you take your profit, right? The only psychology lesson you need to know is if you enjoy taking profits and you feel good about taking your profits, good. Take your profits. Feel good, but don't get over exuberant about any given trade. It's just a trade. And you need to go from one to the next over and over again. Get your practice in, just like you do anything you want to learn and get good at. I don't care if you want to learn how to be a good baseball player or a good trader or a good dentist or a good carpenter. Anything you want to be good at takes time and effort. And trading is no different in that sense. It's just because the thing you are working with is usually currency of some kind, and you're exchanging that currency for some other kind of asset, people will have all kinds of weird emotional responses to that situation. They'll think to themselves very different things than if they were doing a different kind of job, whatever that job is. Because in other jobs, you're guaranteed a payday, right, in most jobs. Maybe not in sales, because you have to make sales to make commissions, but in most jobs, you have some kind of a guarantee of a payday and some kind of guarantee of a base that you're going to make. And trading is like one of the only jobs, or maybe the only job really, that you can go into the market one day. If you have a very poor day, you're going to go home with less money than you started, which is a very unusual way to run your job. But in that sense, you can also think of it as business owners, entrepreneurs can also go into work one day and come home with less money if they screwed up something at business, right? If you're the boss of your own small business or medium-sized business, it's really no different than trading, except that you're trading your time for equity and you're trading your time for returns over a longer period. In trading, you're doing all that inside of a day, and you're doing that within a period of, depends how many hours a day you're trading, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, whatever you're trading. At the end of the day, you have to make the most of it to have gains at the end of the day. And if you're not making gains over a certain period of time, you should rethink, is this something you're actually going to be good at? Are you finding yourself stuck on the idea that you have to be attached to some asset to make the most gains because that's the one you think you understand the most? If that's how you're thinking, you're probably not going to be a good trader. You have to understand all of these assets move according to the math. Every single last one of them moves according to the math. None of them are moving according to your emotions. And if you think you're going to hop onto something that's going to move to your emotions, you're really not in the right place. So that's what I have to say about that.
For sure. And the point I was making, everything getting crushed, the VIX is printing at 21 right now. So, and just recently here on the weekly, I mean, look at the volatility. I mean, look at this. Man, I think it was up at 85. That's a COVID dump right there. Right? There was the COVID dump. Volatility in the S&P just shot to the top. Been lower ever since. And during just the latest, just El Crusherino, hasn't even really been above 35. Right? Hasn't even been above 35. And now when there's a lot of stuff totally crushed, I mean, it's at 21, man. Something's up. Something's up. Going into this new year, I mean, we could definitely see a massive market pump. It would not shock me at all, just from that aspect. Like something's up, and the dollar looks weak to me. So we'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens. It's going to be real interesting. Can't wait, actually. New year, yeah.
Anyone who didn't take their profits on that nice little pump, like we've been saying for the past hour on Bitcoin, that's your perfect example, or Binance or whatever other crypto.
Yeah.
That's your perfect example. It's right back up to where it was when market opened at 9:30 a.m. I mean, it literally, people call it a BART or whatever. It's not a BART. It's just volatility and all kinds of other information here. Gave us information that said, take your profits. And we said, take your profits. It hit the RMLR bands on the 15-minute. It hit it a few times, and then what did it do? Boom, mean reverted on the last candle. Right? It just fell down, right back down to the power mean and to the RMLRs, which, by the way, are having a nice intersect right now. So these things are not rocket science. You just have to be willing to close your trades when you're in profits and not be greedy and think, oh, it's going to overextend. Why? Why do you think it's going to overextend? Look at every case of when it hits those outer limits. What does it do? It comes back because returns mean revert. We're not just saying that because we want to say it for fun. Returns mean revert. Look at the chart. They always mean revert. They zigzag around the mean constantly. Right? So when they zigzag around the mean, that means when it's at the mean, as it is right now, for example, on Bitcoin or whatever, the next thing it's going to do is it's going to move away from the mean. Right? Is it going to go up or down? Well, look at the volatility. Look at the correlation to that. Look at the entropy. Look at the correlation to that. It will tell you. It literally will tell you. And then look at our direction predictors. They will literally tell you which is the very probable direction of this move. And then you'll know. You'll be in the right move. And if you're in the wrong move, just get out. Just get out. Don't stick around and think, oh, I'm gonna hold on and hope for it to turn around. No, because it can fall, or it can go up very high. It can give you crazy outliers, but generally speaking, when you're in the trade and it hits an outlier, it hits a second band or a third band, or it hits an extreme area like a third SD band on the RMLR, it's very likely going to mean revert once it stops hitting those bands. So now's your opportunity to take your profits and not be greedy. And who cares if you miss an extra 1 or 2% that it went up, or not even like 0.1% that it goes up? Who cares? Take your profit, get out, have a nice day.
Yeah.
And then just wait for the next trade. And literally, it's right back where it was an hour ago. So, I mean, it's a perfect example.
Well, you're
Even on
sticking
this-
BART heads in here. Understand the distribution. Thing pumped outside the 5th standard deviation. And look, they were just boom, 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 4th. You're getting wicks through the 5th, wick through the 4th, wick through the 4th.
Yeah.
Then this candle opens up below the 3rd. 68.3% probability, right, that this thing pulls back to the 1SD. What did it do? It fully mean reverted on this projection. Boom.
Yep.
That's all it did.
It's a perfect example. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And the fact that, you might be watching this on YouTube, or you might be, one of the folks that's here, obviously, if you're in the Discord with us, you know this. But if you're new to this and you're looking at this, and you're saying, what are these guys even looking at? What are they talking about? Come in and learn, and you'll see. And it's free to learn. We're not hiding anything. We're showing you the math. We're literally what you see on the screen here. We'll explain it to you in slower words or whatever you want. And we'll write it even so you can read it, for future reference. These things are not impossible to understand, and they are easy to visualize because we have, the world's best tools made by the world's best tools makers. Like, no doubt about it. That's my opinion. Obviously, I'm biased, but I'm biased because I'm looking at the information and the results. And the results are, these tools work incredibly well. They don't leave you wondering, what's it going to do next? You have an extremely high degree of certainty because you have an extremely high degree of probability on your side. You have a quantifiable, measurable edge, which is not something you can do with lagging information. And we don't use lagging information, really. So, yeah, we use leading information. That's why these tools they're forward-looking, right? All these market makers who talk big and don't know how to trade properly, and big analysts who like to talk big and don't know how to trade properly, they love to say we use leading information. Really? What's your leading information? Well, we look at the volume, and we look at the price, and we look at the RSI. That's not, you say that to somebody at an HFT firm, they will laugh at you. Maybe not to your face, but behind your back, they will laugh at you. You're using the tools that they make for suckers to bleed out. Those are the tools that they push through all kinds of different channels on the way down, and that's how they get liquidity into the market, how they take liquidity from the market. And the fact that it causes the average retail trader to get wrecked on a regular basis, that's just part of the course. That's because people are refusing to learn the proper way to trade. That's your choice. You want to trade badly, trade badly. You want to trade properly, learn this. Literally look at these charts in front of your face. We're not hiding anything. You can see it happening candle by candle, any time frame, any asset. They just work. Otherwise, we wouldn't use them. I think we got better things to do. Every single one of us. We got better things to do.
Yeah, and one of them is getting ready to go rebuild my water system. On that note,
There you go.
the sun's actually out too, so this is a beautiful time.
Woohoo!
So let's wrap this baby up, man, so I can get some water going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been, hello. Last Thursday?
Yeah. Right.
Thank God. Thank God. But, yeah, so, if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, even the recorded version or whatever, we're alpha trading. We trade low time frame volatility, right? We use the VEPs, volatility, entropy, probabilities, and statistics to trade these markets. In our opinion, it's the only way to go. Why do we say that? Because the high frequency trading firm algos trade like us. Actually, we found a way to trade like them. But now, we're the alphas, right? So they're trading like us.
Yeah.
They're like, what are these alpha traders doing? Yeah, right. But anyway, we're recognizing what's going on with the distribution of returns. We're recognizing what's going on with volatility and entropy, right? And when these algos make their move, we're right on top of it and we're jumping aboard. We're not. Why do you want to battle against them? Please don't. Come to Alpha Trading. Learn how to trade with the algos. And wherever you live at on this big, beautiful blue marble, have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening. We'll get back at it tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you guys.
Later.